Here we are then, episode 10 of Firefight. I'm your host, David. Now, if you haven't seen Setting Scene episode 10 about how I built this very small but very effective scene, go back and watch it and it will set this firefight up so you know exactly what we're doing. So as I discussed, we are going to pit Autek Mor against a tooled up Wordbearer's Praetor. Now, lots to talk about in this one, so I'll do the talking bit first and then we'll jump straight into the combat. But I was having a conversation with a friend of mine a little while ago now, and we talked about using special characters and whether they were good and what benefits they brought to the game versus a tooled up Centurion or Praetor or a book you can pick from the Space Marine Legion book. Now, this conversation came about because obviously I'm building a Death Guard. I want to try and include, I can't remember his name, Typhon in as much as possible, class Typhon. But although he's a fantastic model, I genuinely believe you can build a better, more tooled up character in the form of a Praetor than perhaps taking class Typhon. Now, for those of you that are into fluff, just like me, it might seem madness, choose class over a Praetor, but generally there's and this is generally, it's not the case of all for everything, but generally it's a higher initiative and usually one more attack. Which then when you combine with digital lasers, you can just make an absolute monster. And I know some characters out there can get up to, I think it's up to 6 or 7 attacks, which is pretty mental. And if you've got a Paragon Blade, striking initiative +1 strength, that's a monstrous character to come against. But anyway, we're going to explore that a little bit more. So let's just take a little look at Autek Mor. First of all, it is a generic model, isn't it? It's just an Iron Father, but I think it's generally used as Autek Mor. And it is a really, really lovely looking model. It's got a massive axe and that really cool servo arm just on top of the Cataphractii Terminator armor. But he comes out at 225 points. He's got Cataphractii arm, as I mentioned. He's got that servo arm, a Cortex controller, so great for Caslax if you include them in your army, or other program behavior Mechanicum models. He has a Paragon Blade, which is the absolute best weapon to equip a Praetor with, or a character, and a Volkite Charger. Volkites feature quite heavily in the Heresy, and it's great to have a Volkite Charger on a character. 2 shots, range 15-inch range, I think it is, or 18-inch range rather. Strength 5, AP 5, 2 shots. And then if we have a quick look at his rules, independent character, you'd expect that. Fearless, which is brilliant. So he's staying in combat. He's got the Legion Astartes Iron Hands. So in particular, the best bit about this is he's toughness 5, but with the Iron Hands rule, he has inviolate armor. So any shooting attacks coming against him is he's essentially toughness 6. It's just -1 strength to the firing weapon coming in. So when we go into this combat, we'll see the combi Volkite on the Praetor firing Autek Mor, and it'll be 5s to hit because it's strength 5 weapon, it's toughness 6, 5s to hit, might come in handy. Bulky, so takes up 2 spots, I think. Battlesmith, so can repair vehicles, which vehicles feature quite heavily in the Iron Hands, which can come in handy. So if he's sat in a Spartan, he can repair that. Master of Legion, so all the benefits come with Master of Legion, you know this, I'm not going to talk to you about that. And then Jealous Command, so this just means that when he forms part of a chosen detachment, he has to be the Warlord unless Ferrus Manus is present. So depending on whether you're playing before or Ferrus lost his head, then that shouldn't really be a massive issue. One of the great things about his Warlord trait, that him and a nominated unit gains preferred enemy infantry for both shooting and attacking. So that's just rolling once to hit and to wound. And if you've watched the, can't remember the name of my own feature now, Challenge the Channel, you'll know that Autek Mor leads 45 Iron Hands Immortals and 2 Dreadnoughts against a challenging opponent to try and capture the ground behind where Autek Mor's deployed. And that preferred enemy against traitors comes in really handy. So it's a great role, and I think it will come into play here. He's got Autek Mor's got 1 less attack than the Praetor, but if you do roll a couple of 1s, at least you can re-roll those, so it'll be really helpful. Now, if we look at the Legion Praetor, he's got some really impressive stats. You know, weapon skill 6, same as Autic Maw. Ballistic skill side, same. Strength 4 for the Praetor versus Strength 5 for Autic Maw. But don't forget, they've both got Paragon Blade, so they get +1. Toughness 4 only for the Praetor, but Autic Maw is Toughness 5. But if you roll that Murderous Strike on the Paragon Blade, then that'll kill each other character. But what it does mean is, if he didn't have a Paragon Blade and he was coming against a Chain Fist or a Power Fist, Autic Maw is not going to get instant killed, which is really, really cool, whereas a Legion Praetor will do. Wounds 3, both got 3 wounds each. Initiative 5 on the Praetor, and that's where I think the edge the Praetor has over Autic Maw. Autic Maw is only Initiative 4. So I think that +1 initiative with the Paragon Blade is going to be really key. And they might, the Praetor might do Autic Maw in the first turn due to that fact, but we'll find out. We'll do a couple of combats if it ends too quickly. And 4 attacks from the Praetor. Again, that is really cool. And he has digital lasers, so he's got 5 attacks base, 6 on the charge, and that is monstrous. Whereas Autic Maw, 3 standard, 4 on the charge. So, you know, not amazing. But he does get that +1. Excuse me, he does get an additional attack at Initiative 1 with his Servo Arm, and that is Strength 8. And that could do the Praetor. I've seen that happen loads of times. They're both Leadership 10, and they both have a 2-up save. Now, the Praetor is in Tartarus pattern Terminator armor, but he has an Iron Halo, which gives him the same invulnerable save as Autic Maw. So, you know, you could say it's a bit unfair. He's in Tartarus armor versus, you know, 5-up Invuln versus 4-up Invuln Cataphractii. But 4-up is where it's at for characters. Can't give a Cyber Familiar to Autic Maw, unfortunately, to give him a 3-up. That would just be too good. All right, and then if we look at his war gear, he's got a Combi Volkite, which we'll be using in the shooting phase. What else did I say? He's got an Iron Halo, a Paragon Blade, of course. So that'll go really well, and obviously digital lasers too. So I think they're quite evenly matched. You know, the Autic Maw comes out at 225, and the Praetor comes out at 195. So, you know, it's the point for point, I think a Praetor is really, really good. But we're going to do a combat, work out what happened. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to do a turn. We're just going to roll initiative, and then Autic Maw will get to move, shoot, and charge, and then we'll do that combat, and then we'll do it after. And then we'll do the Word Bearer move, shoot, charge, just to see if that shooting has any effect, and obviously the extra attacks for charging might go in either of the characters' favours. So let's get on with it, and we'll go straight into the first turn. Here we go, round 1 then. We're going to roll for initiative. Now, Autic Maw is going to use the channel dice, and which are black and red, and the Word Bearer's character is going to use these yellow dice from Conflict Norwich and Boys of the Golden Throne. So we'll do initiative off, just see. Okay, so it is the Praetor going first. This is going to be really interesting. So they're not within 2 inches of each other, but we're not going to make fail charges here. We're just going to get them into combat and get on with it. So we'll do the combi element to the Praetor first. So he's got 2 shots from his charger, hitting on 2s, both hit. Now it is Strength 5. Autic Maw is Toughness 5, but -1 to the strength of the weapon because of Inviolate armor. So it's essentially 5s to wound. Okay, that is 1 wound on 6, great stuff. And then Autic Maw will make a 2-up armor save. It's a 1. Brilliant. All right, I'll do some wound counting so I don't come a cropper. I'll just put them to the side of the dice here so you guys can't see those. That's fine. So, you know, that Volkite charger got through the 2-up armor of Autic Maw despite needing a 5 to wound. So good stuff. Autic Maw is down to 2 wounds. It is not looking good. All right, so the Praetor will declare a charge. Autic Maw cannot overwatch because he's in Cataphractii Terminator armor. We'll assume he makes the charge. The Praetor has 4 attacks base. 4 attacks base, +1 for digital lasers and +1 for charging. Wow, what a beast. They are both on weapon skill 6, so require 4s to hit. See, it all works out, doesn't it? We only got one hit from the Wordbearer's Praetor. That is crazy. Failing 5 to hit rolls. Unreal. So we've hit Paragon Blade. The Praetor is Strength 4, +1 for Paragon Blade. He's Strength 5 rather. Against Toughness 5, it is 4s to wound. 6s are Murderous Strike. Oh, look at that. It couldn't go any better. That is a 6 from the Murderous Strike from the Praetor. Now, Autek Moore needs this to stay in the fight. He will, it won't get to attack back because obviously he's 1 initiative less. 4 up, let's do it. Come on, Autek Moore. Wow, look at that. A 6 on the 30k channel dice has saved Autek Moore. Now, we'll drop down to initiative 4. Autek Moore will get to attack. He has 3 attacks. Weapon skill 6 versus weapon skill 6. We require 4s to hit. Let's see what we can do. Rerolling 1s, don't forget. We don't get any 1s, but we get 1 fail to hit, so 2 hits. We are Strength 5 versus Toughness 4, but +1 Paragon Blade, so he's Strength 6, 2s to wound, rerolling 1s. That has got to be the dream combination, surely. We don't need it. We've got a 4 and a 6, so 1 is Murderous Strike, and 1 is just an AP2 wound. You know, what do we do? Should we do the AP2 wound first? Yeah, and then we'll save the Paragon Blade attack for last. So here we are then. The Wordbearer's Praetor requires a 4 up to save and AP2 attack. It is done. Congratulations. Well done. All right, now we have a Paragon Blade attack with Murderous Strike, 4 up from the Wordbearer's Praetor. Can he do it? He does not do it. That is unbelievable. And that is the Praetor killed. Wow, wow, wow. All right, I know that was really quick. And if you're rolling well or rolling badly, that combat can end in like 5 seconds, or it can go on for turn, loads of turns. What we will do though is we will do a quick initiative 1 attack from Autek Moore with his servo arm just to see what would have happened. So that would have been a 4 to hit. Oh, it was a fail, so that's fine. Wow. Clearly, I was wrong there, you know. I thought the Wordbearer's character with 6 attacks and a +1 initiative was just going to mince Autek Moore in the first turn, but only rolling 1 to hit was pretty terrible. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to reset. I'm going to go into another turn. This time we'll start with Autek Moore, and then we'll see what we can do. All right, here we are, turn 2. Let's see if Autek Moore can make it 2 for 2. So we'll start with Autek Moore this time, as the Wordbearer Praetor had the initiative. So we'll go on to Autek Moore. Now he gets to shoot again. Volkite Charger, 2 shots, hitting on 2s, re-rolling those 1s if we need them. We don't. Strength 5, Toughness 4. Yes, that's right. So 3s to wound. 1 and a 2, but don't forget we get to roll that 1 due to Murderous Arsenal, and that is 1 wound. Great stuff. All right, now we need a 2 up armor. All right, okay, that is saved. So you know the Wordbearer character was pretty lucky to get through with his Volkite Charger in the previous turn. We will now declare a charge from Autek Moore into the Praetor. Now, because he's wearing Tartarus Pattern Terminator armor, he can overwatch. And because we've reset the combat, we'll assume that he's still got his Volkite Charger left to fire. So we'll do 2 shots from that. 6 is required, not a sausage. Autek Moore makes his charge, but the Praetor has the initiative here. All right, so he doesn't get his +1 for charging, but he does get 4 attack space, +1 for his digital lasers. Weapon skill 6 versus 6. We are 4s to hit. No rerolls. I think that was a better roll this time. We got 3 hits. Autek Moore could be in trouble. We are Strength 4, +1 for the Paragon Blade, and we're against Toughness 5, so 4s to wound. Actually, sorry, I'm going to stop. There was a Mastercraft on the Legion Praetor. He has got a Mastercrafted Paragon Blade. I did pay for it, so I do apologise. I didn't do that in the first combat, but I'll re-roll it now. It doesn't work anyway. All right, okay, that's fine. So Strength 5, Toughness 5, 4s to wound. Okay, interesting, really, really good result here. So we've got 2 wounds, none of which are Murderous Strike. So Autek Moore will need to take 2 4-up invulnerable saves from that AP2 weapon. Okay, so pass 1, fail 1. So Autic Moore has taken 1 wound. Okay, a little bit more of a juicier combat this time. Let's move on to Autic Moore. He has 3 attacks. Falls to hit. Rerolling those 1s, so we do get a 1. So falls to hit. That is nothing. Yeah, rolled in the end a 2 and 2, 3. So that is that. So that's Autic Moore finished. Now we'll go to Initiative 1 because he does have his servo arm to attack. This could be the difference. So force to hit from Autic Moore. It does hit. Wow, scary stuff. It is Strength 8, AP 1, I believe. I'll just check the stats. I've got them written down in front of me. So Strength 8, AP 2. All right, let's see if we can do it. 2's to wound. We've got it. All right, so the word bearer character will need a 4-up or he is dead. Amazing how it works. All right, so let's give it a whirl. Oh, that is a 2. Strength 8, toughness 4, and again, the Legion Praetor from the word bearers has been killed, and Autic Moore will consolidate after the combat. He will consolidate 4 inches. Wow. I did not see that happening. Maybe I'm wrong about this whole character thing versus a Praetor. I don't know. What we're going to do, we're going to reset and we'll do another turn. We'll go 3 for 3 with Autic Moore if we can. Right, as it's the final showdown, there is an initiative to roll off. Let's give it a whirl. And in this case, the word bearer's Praetor will go first. Really good stuff. All right, so we have reset. Again, the Praetor will fire his Volkite charge into Autic Moore, requiring 2s to hit. That is 2 6s. Look at that. Conflict 30k, or Conflict Norwich rather, and Boys of Golden Throne. 2 6s rolled, 2 hits. Let's see if we can wound. We need 5s to wound Autic Moore. Wow, we do get another 6. So Autic Moore has been wounded. Can he make the armor save? He can. All right, okay, phew, that's all right. Charge is declared by the word bearer's Praetor. No overwatch from Autic Moore, and we are into combat. Highest initiative. This could be it. I've got a good feeling for the word bearers here. So 4 attacks base, +1 for charging, and +1 for digital lasers. Both at weapon skill 6. You know the stats by now. 4s to hit. Wow, that was a really good roll. Okay, so we get 4 hits from the Praetor. I think Autic Moore is going to be limited here. So we've hit 4 times. 2 6s though. We could do those with the Murderous Strike in the next roll. Strength 4, +1, Strength 5, Toughness 5, 4s to wound. Oh, look at that. Autic Moore is numbered. So we do get a Murderous Strike, and we get 2 wounds from that AP2 Paragon Blade. We'll do the 2 4-ups required for the AP2, and we'll leave the Murderous Strike till last. So 4-ups. 5 and a 6. They are passed. Can Autic Moore be lucky again? Who knows? It's all down to this dice roll. Oh, boom! He does save. Unbelievable. All right, well done, Autic Moore. You've done really, really well there. All right, let's move on to the Iron Hands. 3 attacks for Mr. Autic Moore, requiring 4s to hit. Rerolling those 1s if we need it. We don't. We only get 1 hit. Strength 5, so it's Strength 6, Toughness 4. That's right. 2s to wound. We get it. It's not a Murderous Strike. This combat could go on. The Legion Praetor requires a 4-up invulnerable. Oh man, what is going on with this word bearer's character? He's failed, so he does take a wound. But now we go down to Initiative 1 for the servo arm from Autic Moore. 4s to hit. It is a hit. Wow, he's doing really well. Strength 8, Toughness 4, 2s to wound. Rerolling that 1 if we need it. It's a 6. Where was that when the Paragon Blade came in? And now we need a 4-up invulnerable save from the Iron Halo of the word bearer's characters. Can Autic Moore do it 3 in a row? Let's find out. Oh, he doesn't. That is a brilliant save there from the word bearer's Praetor. That is good. I'm glad it went on. I'm glad the last round of combat was kind of a bit of a slogfest. Now, Autic Moore has won combat by a difference of 1. The Legion Praetor needs a leadership test. Now, don't forget, true believers roll 3 dice, pick the 2 lowest. He's leadership 10. Requiring 9 on 2 dice, pick the lowest, and that is easily done on a 4 there. So the combat will continue into the next round. Round 2, and we start off with the Word Bearer's character. We are initiative 5, really helpful here. He's got 4 attacks, +1 for digital lasers, requiring 4s to hit. Pretty terrible roll this time. We missed 3 times, getting 3 1s. That is a real shame. But he's mastercrafted. Let's not forget that. Jeez. Oh, out the tray. It was a 6. I'll take that. I'll take that. So we've got 3 hits from the Praetor. Strength 5, toughness 5, 4s to wound. Okay, so it's only 1 wound. Autic Maw has a 4-up invulnerable, and that is passed. Wow, okay, doing really well. Now we'll go to Autic Maw, 3 attacks, 4s to hit. All hit, holy hell. All right, so strength 6, toughness 4, so 2s to wound, rerolling 1s if we need it. We get 2 wounds and we get a murderous strike. Holy hell. All right, so let's do the 4-up for the Praetor. He's got 3 wounds, 2 wounds remaining, sorry. 4-ups could be over. He does lose a wound, but he's saved 1. He's on 1 wound, but let's not forget he's got the old, he's got the murderous strike to save against. 4-up to keep him in the fight. He saves. Yes, excellent work. Excellent, excellent work. All right. Now we go down to initiative 1. Autic Maw has his servo arm. 4s to hit. It hits. Oh, he is on fire today. Strength 8, toughness 4, 2s to wound. Reroll that 1 if we need it. We get the 1. We get to reroll that. Very critical. And it is a 4. All right. This Praetor is not out of the woods yet. He requires a 4-up to save from the flurry of attacks that have come from Autic Maw. And he saves on a 6. Yes, I love it. This is exactly what we wanted. Good stuff. All right, but don't forget, the Praetor has lost combat by a difference of 1. 3d6, True Believers, easily passed on a 4 there. Great stuff. All right, let's go into the next round. Round 3, and these characters are having an absolute slogfest in this combat here. We go straight to the Word Bearer's character as he is initiative 5. So he has 4 attacks base, +1 digital lasers. You know the drill now. 4s to hit. That is a fantastic roll to hit. So 2 misses. Mastercrafted comes into play here. Get it a reroll. 4 hits. This is what we want from the Praetor. All right, so strength 5, toughness 5, 4s to wound. Not a sausage. What is going on? Not good. Autic Maw steps up. Let's have him. 4s to hit. 1 hit this time. No Mastercrafted from him. No, that's fine. Oh, but got a 1, so we get to reroll Murderous Arsenal. I knew there was a rule there somewhere. 2 hits. 2s to wound. Okay, no murderous strike, but we don't need it. The Word Bearer's character has only got 1 wound left. Now we need 2 4-ups on 2 dice to save the Word Bearer's character. He saves a 6 and a 4. That is brilliant. Okay, great stuff there from the Word Bearers. And then finally, Autic Maw servo arm hitting on 4s. I should know this by now, shouldn't I? And that is a miss. So first time that servo arm has missed. All right, let's go into the 4th round of combat between these 2 characters. Initiative 5 from the Praetor. He will go first. 4 attacks, +1 for digital lasers. And we are 4s to hit. Okay, really good. So 3 hits so far. Mastercrafted. Wow, 4 hits. This is a good start. Strength 5, toughness 5, 4s to wound. Not bad. We've got 3 wounds though. No murderous strike. Would have been helpful to try and take out Autic Maw, but we do have 3 invulnerable saves to make for Autic Maw, requiring 4-ups. Wow, it was nearly over. Okay, so Autic Maw has suffered 2 wounds. All right, so they are both level pegging now. The combat has really started to heat up. So good work there from the Word Bearer's character. 3 attacks now from Autic Maw. 4s to hit. 2 hits. Murderous Arsenal comes in handy here, and that is 3 solid hits. Okay, well done. Now we are strength 6, toughness 4, 2s to wound. You know the drill. And that is 3 wounds. I think it's going to be really hard for the Word Bearers to come back from this. All right, so we've got 3 wounds, 4-ups. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, it was just a 6, a 5, and a 1, and that final 1 was enough to kill the Wordbearer's character once again. Autek Mor is victorious. I think that third and final combat was very representative of standard combats that happen in the game. They do generally kind of just slog on with characters, but you know, that Murderous Strike is fantastic, and if you're trying to pull down Castellax or any mechanical models with multiple wounds, that Paragon Blade is invaluable. But it can also pip out, you know, 3 wound characters, 4 wound characters really easily. So it's a really great show there from both models. That servo arm from Autek Mor, you know, it can do a really good job. High strength attack, low AP. You know, it can also be used in combat against vehicles as well if you want. It might just be in there just to nip off a little attack. It also means that Autek Mor is a little bit more versatile as well. So if his Paragon Blade can't get through the rear armor of a vehicle, then that Paragon and then that servo arm can just have a little nip and just pull a hull point off in each turn, which is quite helpful. Well, that was really thrilling. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. I know it was only short and sweet, but we always end up in combats here with monstrous characters in 30k, and I think the Praetor versus a named character was a really good exception there. And now I know it is not representative of all combats in the game. There are some really monstrous characters out there that do buff your army quite heavily. But it's not always about combat. Sometimes they'll give a +1 Blister skill, or they'll give a universal special rule to the entire army, which more than makes up just for one single character. And sometimes I think there is an argument. Alpha Legion are a really good representativist. Their Primarch, although he's a really good Primarch, he's got a really great weapon, the army-wide buffs that Alpharius gives to the entire Alpha Legion far outweighs his sheer brute force and attacking and shooting ability from someone, say Russ, for example. So, you know, when selecting characters, I think it's really interesting to see, you know, what type of army you're trying to build, and then try and make your character fulfill a particular role that you can't from your squads. So I'll give you a really quick example. The Death Guard that I'm building at the moment, it's going to be infantry heavy, massive infantry, and I might be using some more consoles or centurions to give +1 ballistic skill to units, or to get some extra buffs in there rather than go for a balls out Praetor and tool him up. But then we might use Class Typhon for a Terminator list. So I've got planned. I've got a lot of Terminators in this army, so I think it'd be quite cool just to have an entire Terminator army led by class. But generally I'm going to be running lots of infantry supported by Rhinos, and I think 2 or 3 Centurions, maybe a Primus, would be a really good addition to that heavy infantry. So you can either tailor make your army around your character, or you can tailor make your character around your army, which I think is a very subtle difference. But anyway, I'm waffling, and I know that, and I'm really sorry. I really hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below. You can email me directly. It's david@the30kchannel.com. I'd love to hear from you. I try to reply to everybody who sends me an email. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.